Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. These recap videos are always super long, so I'm gonna try to talk so fast that I don't even make sense. I'm going to try to talk fast, get right to the point, but first I cannot do this video without saying thank you to each and every person that watches my content. Over the weekend I hit 50,000 subscribers and I never would have imagined that I would make it to 50k, so thank you all so much. 60k, here I come. You guys, if you're not subscribed yet, please do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button down below. All right, let's get into it. I do want to say as well that because these recap videos are so long, just doing the recap, I decided that I'll just do the recap for people that don't get to watch the show. I have people that say, thank you for doing the recaps. I don't have cable anymore. So the only way I can keep up with what's going on is by watching your recap. So thank you. So that's kind of what this is for, unless you just like listening to my recaps, you watch the show and you like the recaps anyways. By all means, please watch it. Now what I will do though is I will take each thing that come from this that I have thoughts and opinions on, and I will make separate videos for that. I've had some people comment saying, we know what happened on the show. We come here for like extra thoughts and opinions, you know, because they want more than just my recap. But then I've had people say, when I give my thoughts and opinions, just talk about the show. Just tell us what happened on the show. So it's like you can't win no matter what you do. But this is the plan that I'm going to stick with because my recap videos are already like 28, 30 minutes long, which takes a long time to edit, long time to put up. So this is just going to be the recap. But look for videos to come up about other things concerning this recap. Takeaways. Kodys saying that he was not in love with Janelle. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to have a video on that. Also, Christine saying that she has a clear conscience at the end of the day about leaving Kody, despite the fact that Robyn tried to make her feel guilty about it. We're going to have a video about that as well because I have thoughts. So let's go ahead and let's get into the recap of what went down this past Sunday on the Sister Wives Tell-All One-on-One Part 2. I did not know that we're going to have a Part 3, but yeah, you guys are going to have a Part 3 as well. So there's a lot going in to this sit down. A lot of questions that's being asked. On this particular sit down, Part 2, we started off with Christine, and the host tells Christine that they want to talk about COVID and the problems that COVID brought into the family and how those problems transitioned to the family. Like how COVID started causing so many problems within the family. But I'm kind of like, what was said in the last one, it was problems that were already there that COVID just kind of unveiled, you know. They had to face everything. So at the time when COVID came, Christine was already feeling some type of way anyways. Before COVID even hit, she was already feeling distance from the family, questioning if anybody liked her, feeling like it was like a hostile environment when they did meet up. They rolled the clip back from the season so they could watch what went down this past season for Christine. And it showed where Kody presented the rules, where they all met up, I think it was at Robyn's house, and he gave them all the list of rules that the nanny abides by. So if they want to get together for Thanksgiving, they'll have to abide by these rules. And Christine, it shows the part where she's in the confessional and she's like, what does the nanny do? And I'm like, yes, girl, that's what we were all wondering. What does she do? Now, from what we understand now, the nanny was a nanny and she she done homeschool for the kids. But I'm like, why was like Robyn wasn't capable of the homeschool? Because I know a lot of parents that they homeschool their kids themselves. It was during COVID. Everybody was supposed to be staying home. So could Kody not help? Could the older kids? Not saying that that's, you know, what they're supposed to do. But Robyn, I think Robyn could have did it. And, you know, if she needed some help, every once in a while, have one of the older kids help if they wanted to, you know. But it was really, I don't know. I understood that. Like, what does the nanny do? Why is she there? And Christine's question also was, why does he trust the nanny, but not us? And she was like, I was honest with him. Like, I traveled and I told him, yes, I traveled. You know, but he didn't feel like he could trust me. Christine also said when it comes back after they roll the clip, Christine tells us that Isabel was very mad that the nanny was at Kody and Robyn's house and that she was able to be around, you know, the children, Isabel's siblings, but Isabel couldn't be around the siblings. So Isabel expressed that to Christine and was like, why can the nanny see my siblings, but I can't? So Christine said that she understood the way Isabel was feeling, and she told Isabel that she would bring it up to Kody, which she did. She brought it up to Kody at the meeting. when they gave her the rules. You know, she was just like, what's the deal with the nanny? So she brought it up. After that, we flipped to Robyn, and the host asked Robyn, why weren't the rules given out sooner? Ooh, you guys, I swear the look on Robyn's face is always like guilty, but she's trying to play it off. Robyn, she just plays innocent, saying that she was wondering the same thing. I don't know. I was wondering the same thing. Why did it take Kodys so long to put the rules out? I just don't know. And then the host was like, you're with him every day. Didn't you ever just want to like shake Kodys and be like, give them the rules, you know, like tell them what they need to do. Since that's what she portrayed on the show. On the show, she made it out like she just so desperately wanted to get together and she wanted everybody to know what level to be on. All the while at home, Kodys knows. He knows what the rules are, right? So the host asked, like, didn't you ever just want to shake Kodys and be like, give him the rules? And she said that, she goes, oh man, Kodys was such a grump at that point. I guess trying to make it out like she really didn't want to say too much to him because he was so grouchy about everything. Robyn then says that she asked Kodys, and Kodys would say that Christine and Janelle wasn't going to follow the rules regardless. So he was basically, according to Robyn, she did ask him, why don't you give them the rules? And he said, well, it doesn't matter if they have the rules. They're not gonna comply with them anyways. Robyn says that Kodys was getting kickback from Janelle and Christine and Janelle's boys, so he really didn't feel like if he gave them the rules, they would comply. But how do you really know unless you give them the rules? Now, after that, the host is sitting with Kodys, and Kodys tells the host that he had 2 households that would not comply, but Robyn would. That Robyn set her kids down and was like, this is what we're going to do, and her children complied. The host asked Kodys if he could understand why some of the wives felt polarized from him. And he fired back and he said that's because of their own actions though. If they felt any type of way, it was their fault because they weren't the ones complying. The host tells Kodys that the wives chose their children, and Kodys says they're adult children. So she's like, you know, they didn't feel like they even were that close to you. They kind of felt like you were separating them, you know, and then they felt, you know, they chose their children because they didn't feel like they had a choice. And Kodys like, they're adult children. They're adults. And then the host says, they're 18. They're not adults. But I'm like, in Louisiana, you are. In Louisiana, 18, you're considered an adult. You can, I think everywhere you're considered an adult at 18. And I think one of them was even older than 18. I think Garrison was actually like 21. But the host, she was like, gonna ride it out. She was like, but they're children still. He argues back and he says, listen, they're 18. They're adults in my book. Now, after that, we flipped to Janelle, and the host asked her if she felt like Kodys wanted her to choose between him and their children. And she said yes, that there were times that she absolutely felt that way. And she said, and every time she was going to choose her children. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. She was going to choose her kids. She did say that at this point they have moved out. But at that point, there was no way she was going to kick her kids out in a world of COVID. During a pandemic, she was not going to kick her kids out. So she would have chose her children every single time. We're back to Kodys, and the host asked Kodys what's his relationship like with his boys. Gabriel and Garrison is who I'm assuming they are talking about. And Kodys says that it's not good, that they are not talking. The host is like kind of shocked. She's like, so you're not talking to your boys? And Kodys says no, that they need to do a lot of work to, you know, work on their relationship because right now it's not well. Then we see some clips. They do like a rollback, and it shows clips where Janelle says that her boys think Kodys is being too careful. Then we see a clip of Gabriel and Garrison sitting down talking with their mom Janelle, and Garrison says the whole family is going to fall apart. That's it. We're done. This family is done. And then Gabriel says that everyone in the family is so focused on being right that it's actually ruining their family. After that, we see a clip of Kodys where he tells the boys that it's basically their decision. He's like, you guys can quarantine, follow the protocols, and I can come home and I can be around. Or you guys cannot follow the rules and protocols and I won't come around. It's your decision. It's your choice. After that, we see Kodys in a confessional where he says that the issue is that he is not being respected in his own home. Now we go back to Kodys, who is sitting down with the host, and he tells her in a nutshell that's exactly how he felt. The host asks him if he is off course, in his relationship with Gabriel and Garrison. And he says, oh yes, we need therapy. So this whole COVID situation has really done so much damage to their family. You know, Christine, she's gone. Most of his kids are angry at him. And he's acknowledging that, even with Gabriel and Garrison. He's like, yeah, we need therapy. We're not in a good place at all. He goes on to say, I need to sit down with my boys to get something straight because I've gotten to the point that I'm so angry that we're not communicating. And I think they're angry as well. Then it flips to Janelle. The host asked Janelle if the boys wanted to see Kody, then why not abide by the rules? Simple fix, right? Like, hey, if your boys were so concerned about seeing their dad, then how about they just abide by the rules? And Janelle says, well, at first they did. When COVID first started, they were abiding by the rules. But then it got to the point to where Kody did not trust them because they had lied to him a couple of times. There were a couple of times they claimed they were abiding by the rules and they didn't. Now we flipped to Kody, and Kody says that he found out through social media that the boys were lying to him. So I guess maybe they were going and doing things and posting pictures to their social media, and that's how he figured out that they were not quarantining and abiding by the protocols. So even though they had told him that they were, he then sees these pictures, so he knows that they're not, which ultimately breaks his trust, right? Kody says that there was a lot of exaggeration going on. Gabriel and Garrison said that Kody had not been to the house in 9 months. In a confessional, they said that their dad had not come over in 9 months. But Kody said in reality, he had been there the entire time. Now, I'm not going to believe that. I think the only place that Kody would be okay being the entire time is at Robyn's house. If he would have said, but I was there, I was going to visit every so often, I could believe that, but I'm not believing he was at Janelle's house the entire time. I mean, come on, Janelle's mom passed away, and when they came back, he only stayed with Janelle like 4 days before he left to go back to Robyn. I'm like, her mom just died. Can you not stay and be a husband and like be there during this time of mourning? Her mom just passed away. But he was like in a rush to get back to Robyn. You know, I thought that was pretty... So for him to say he was there the entire time, I'm not buying that. Janelle says that the relationship between the boys and Kody is very strained. Janelle says that several of Kody's children are at odds with him right now over the rules, the COVID rules, and how everything played out. Kody says that his hope is that at some point, all of the kids could potentially move back to their property on Coyote Pass. When he's sitting down with the host, she says, you know, like, what is your desire with your children? What do you see in the future? And he said, well, ultimately, we bought this property with all this land because it's our hope that they'll move back and they'll live on the land with us. So his desire is to have a close relationship with the kids, according to him. He also says that he loves his kids being around, but he has realized his kids do not respect him. They do not respect him, nor his leadership. Now, the host asked him, how did he feel when Janelle and Christine chose to go to Utah over staying there and having Thanksgiving with him and the rest of the family? And he said that he was angry about it. So the part where we saw him like smirking and everything after they told him they would be going to Utah, he said that he had like a mix of emotions. A part of him was like, didn't care. He was fine to do it without them. But there was also a part of him that was mad about the situation. That was mad that they were choosing to go to Utah. Now the host brought up when Janelle left that meeting. She left and she was like, F off Kody or F you Kody or whatever it was that she said. She told Kody, she said, you should have went after her. And Kody was like, what? I don't think so. And she said, yeah, you should have went after her and told her that it would be all right. Like that you're there for her. And Kody said, no, not at all. Not going to happen. The host asked if it was his ego that was stopping him from going after Janelle. And he said it was because there's no loyalty. Kody says that so much has happened that he was kind of relieved and he was wondering what it would be like to have Thanksgiving without the family. He feels like Janelle allowing her kids, I guess, to lie to their dad. He feels like, you know, she betrayed him as well. There's no loyalty there because her kids were going off and doing whatever. And she couldn't put a handle on her kids and her kids were exaggerating or lying or whatever you want to call it. And it seems like he places the blame for that on Janelle. Now we are back with Christine. The host told Christine, you chose your family, but Robyn was upset that you did not choose the larger family. And Christine said, I can't always make other people happy. Mine and Kodys' relationship was not good. She said she weighed her options. She thought about the other kids that she has that needs to see her. And she said ultimately she has a clear conscience about the decision that she made to leave Kody and the larger family. The host asked Kody if he can validate Christine's feelings, not feeling like she should have to stay in a marriage where there's no intimacy, and just living a life of a marriage, but more as a friend rather than a wife. And Kody said that he can validate it, but it was during COVID and everyone had to make sacrifices. So like, while he understands that Christine may be feeling some type of way, ultimately she should have been willing to make sacrifices for the family, and because she couldn't, according to him, it led him to feeling the way that he felt about her, which led to him not wanting to be intimate with her anymore. Now, the host brought up Janelle, and she asked Kody, how is he able to be in sync with Janelle? Like, what's his relationship like with Janelle? And Kody responded, oh, we're not in sync. Me and Janelle, we're not in sync at all. We don't partner well, but we actually have a marriage. They have an attachment. He said they are good friends and they get along really well. The host asked him, she says, are you in love with Janelle? And he says, I love Janelle. And she goes, no, are you in love with Janelle? And Kody drops a bomb, which is not really a bomb, I think we all assumed. And he goes, I'm not, and I don't think she would tell you that she is either. If you were to ask her the same question, I think she would tell you that she's not in love with me either. Well then, after that, we flip over to Janelle. And Janelle, when she is asked, you know, how do you feel about Kody? Do you love Kody? She says, he is my best friend. We've been in a long-term relationship for 30 plus years. And the host brings up intimacy. You know, like being in love. She's like, it goes hand in hand. If you're going to be in a marriage, in a relationship, you need to have intimacy. You need to be in love. And Janelle wouldn't answer the question really. Janelle just said, we're fine. She goes, I'm not going to dive in too much about a relationship, but yeah, we're fine. We then flip over to Christine, where the host brings up Janelle and Kody's relationship. So the host asks Christine, do you think Kody fills Janelle's tank? And she said, I don't think Janelle needs Kody to fill her tank. And she says what she needed from Kody, which is her tank filled, is not the same thing that Janelle needs from Kody. They're two different women. They need two completely different things. Like Janelle may be okay and not need that. According to Christine, that's what it is. Christine says that Janelle is like a solid, independent person. She can fill her own tank. She don't need Kody to do that. But Christine was like, I did though. You know, like I needed that emotional, physical connection. Janelle doesn't need it. So that's why she's kind of okay. Now the host asked Janelle if there is a hierarchy among the women. And Janelle says there isn't, but I definitely think that there is. And I think that Janelle even knows that there is. They just don't want, maybe she just don't want to say there, like, yes, there's a hierarchy and Robyn's at the top. Kody, Robyn. After that, Christine had brought up how living in the basement, being a basement wife for several years, how that affected her. And so the host brought it up to Janelle. And Janelle said that she was shocked to hear that it bothered Christine because she had no idea. Robyn also said the same thing. Then we're talking to Robyn, where Robyn talks about feeling accepted into the family. The host asked her, you know, how has it been coming into the family that was already established? How was that for you? And Robyn says she still struggles with feeling accepted. They then roll a clip back of kind of Robyn's part on the show, and it shows where Robyn is having that meeting with Mary, and she tells Mary about how one of the boys called her saying, like, can you please change the rules? This is kind of getting ridiculous. And it bothered her because she wasn't the one making the rules. We then see a clip from a confessional where she says, you know, if anybody's going to be blamed for anything, it's going to be me. Everybody's going to place the blame on me. Of course they are. Now, the host brings up Robyn not being accepted when she first came into the family with Christine. And Christine said it's hard when you have a family that's already established and then you try to blend in with that family. You try to become a part of that family that's already established. Christine said that feelings get hurt, but she never had any intention to alienate Robyn or her kids. She said that everyone came out of this scarred. You know, not just Robyn, not just her kids, but everyone come out of the situation scarred. Janelle says that there is a history between her and Robyn. The host asks if she wants to have a relationship with Robyn, and Janelle says, I just don't know. After that, the host tells Robyn that she is the only one, that from watching the show, it appears that Robyn is the only one that has a full functioning relationship with Kody. At that point, Robyn seems to get irritated. She starts crying. It takes her a minute to kind of regroup, and she seems mad about it. The host says, you know, considering that you seem to be the only one with a full functioning marriage with Kody, surely you could understand why that would make the other wives feel some type of way. So Robyn, like I said, she gets upset. After she kind of calms down from crying, she says she does not know why Christine and Kody just could not figure it out. Why they could not find their compromise, find the things that they love about each other. And she says that she can't fix it for them, but if she would, she could. Like if she could try to fix it, she would. But it's something they're going to have to do. Now, the host asked Robyn about divorce and how it works within their religion. Robyn says she does not believe Christine and Kody to be divorced. She said, in our religion, the church has to release you from the marriage, and Christine has not gotten that. Christine has not went to the church to get the marriage dissolved. And then Robyn says she understands that Christine feels like this was her best option, but she wished she would have tried harder. Robyn then says, Christine says they are divorced, but in my mind, they aren't, because the church official hasn't granted it. We then flip to Christine, who is explaining it herself, who she says she is very much divorced from Kody. She explains that in their church, women can leave if they want. You're not forced to stay. But Christine says that she has not been a member of that church in a long time. That her decisions is between her and God, and she feels like God would want her to be happy. She does not feel like she needs some strangers to tell her if it's okay for her to get a divorce or not, because she feels like as long as she's taking that up with God, then it's okay. Then we flip over to Kody, and he talks about how Christine doesn't believe in the religion anymore, how she hasn't been a part of the church. So in her mind, she absolutely feels like they are divorced. And Kody, he seems to as well. He's like, if that's what she feels, if she don't need permission from the church, she's not even a part of the church, she don't believe in anything to do with the church, she's saying we're divorced, then okay, I'm going with that. We're divorced. Christine, she says, you know, she knew she was making a tough decision. She knew she was making it that was going to break other people's hearts. But at this point, she just had to do what was best for her. And that was the end of the episode, you guys. I tried to kind of rush through it. This video, at this point, it's already 32 minutes long, which by the time I edit it, hopefully it'll be around 25. Next week, we have another sit down, part 3, which I really thought this would be the end, part 2. But no, we got a part 3, and it also seems like it's going to be a very interesting. So make sure you guys come back here if you cannot watch it, or if you just like me talking about it, come back here. I'm going to work on a few other videos from some key things in what took place, where I can break those things down and talk about them. Also, I'll be live tonight on my channel to celebrate hitting 50,000 subscribers. So you guys join me tonight, hang out with me. And if you are not subscribed to the channel yet, please do me a huge favor, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe button, leave your comments, thoughts in the comment section below, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye, everyone.